Today we are starting with discussion of one more sample paper for term 1. As you all know, our exams are approaching and you must be have your centers also with you. So the pattern of the paper which is decided for term 1 is only MCQ type questions, right? So MCQ type questions we are going to discuss in the same manner as you will be getting in your exam. You will be having lots of choices in the paper, but what you have to be very careful at the time of attempting questions, you have to go through the OMR sheet very carefully. What you have to do is you have to circle and fill the option. Correct option should be written in the box which is given adjacent to that circle. And also if you are leaving any particular question, then in the third column where hashtag is given on the top, there you have to circle that particular question number. All right, so writing of the option is mandatory for you because that will be considered at the time of evaluation of your sheets. All right, so let's start with the paper. This is section A. In first section you will be having 24 questions, and out of those 24 multiple choice questions you have to attempt any 20. So see, you will be getting 20 minutes for reading of the paper. So you have to use that particular time very carefully. At the time of reading only, you will be able to decide that which 4 questions you are going to leave in this particular section. So it will be better for you if you encircle those 4 questions at the time of reading only. Otherwise, do it in the second turn. All right. So let's see. Question number 1 says disinvestment by government means selling of dash held by it. Now, as we all know, investment means putting up of our incomes or funds into some specific place where we can get returns on that, right? So if we are putting our funds into some particular business to get returns, that is known as investment. And if we talk about disinvestment means withdrawing of our investments. So withdrawing means as and when government has planned to do the privatization, what they do is they just sell the shares of public sector undertakings to private sector, which means they are getting their money back which they have already invested. So that is called as disinvestment. So in this, disinvestment by the government means selling off the share of public sector enterprises. So option B is correct. Now question 2, that exchange rate which is a mixture of both fixed and flexible exchange rate is known as. Now see, options are very much clear. Fixed exchange rate and flexible exchange rate combinedly will be making what? Now first option is fixed exchange rate system. It can't be, flexible can't be. Then third is managed floating exchange rate system, in which exchange rate is fixed but there may be interference by the member of committee which is already assigned. So there they have the both features of fixed exchange rate system as well as flexible exchange rate system. So we'll go for option C in this, managed floating exchange rate. Question 3, dash money supply consists of. Now, money supply consists of dash. What is it? Money supply, the currency and the deposits with commercial banks are both included in the money supply, which is also termed as high powered money, right? So we'll go for option C, both A and B. Question number 4, which one is the component of current account? Here we are talking about the components of current account. Current account, you all must be knowing about BOP. So under balance of payment account, we have current accounts and capital accounts both. So invisible trade. Invisible trade is the correct option for current account. Otherwise, direct investments, banking capital and loan, these are all the components of capital account only, right? So option A, invisible trade, is the correct answer. Question number 5. Read the following statements carefully and choose the correct alternatives given below. Now see children, this statement type of questions are recently introduced by CBSE, in which you will be getting 2 statements. Question number 5, in which you will be getting 2 statements. You have to go through the statements very carefully and then you have to find out the correct option. So if I tell you the options in advance, first option will be both statements are true. Second is both statements are false. Third is statement 1 is true. Second is false, and vice versa. So we have to go through these statements carefully. Read them twice always. Statement 1 says, demonetization introduced in 2016 is closely related to financial sector reform. Is this true? Introduction 2016. We should always be aware of the dates. So the date is not correct. Second says, also it was telling the financial sector reform. It is not related to financial sector reform because demonetization is not a feature for correcting the financial statement of a country. So this statement is false. Statement 2 says demonetization aims at curbing illegal transactions, which is very true. Demonetization is intentionally done because of one of this reason, curbing illegal transaction. So statement 2 is true and statement 1 is false. So option D is correct. Next, question number 6. Mr. Rohan wants to know about the initial deposits of commercial banks if the total deposits created by commercial banks is rupees 10,000 crores and legal reserve ratio is 40%. Then amount of initial deposits will be. Now, if you know that the formula for calculating total deposits is equals to initial deposit multiplied by 1 upon legal reserve ratio. So, if we talk about this question, initial deposits, total deposits are given to us is 10,000 rupees. So we have to put it into the formula initial deposits multiplied by 1 upon legal reserve ratio. And if we do this calculation, we'll get 4,000 rupees as answer. So option C is the correct one. Question number 7. Miss Achal and Miss Khushi were discussing about supply curve of foreign exchange. Miss Khushi told Miss Achal that supply curve of foreign exchange is. See, if we talk about supply curve of foreign exchange or any of the supply curve, then we are always aware of its relationship. They both have positively related, like they are directly related. If one side is getting up, then other will be definitely going to be higher. See, if supply is high, then the rate also will be increasing. So they both are positively related and positively shaped. So option C is the correct one. Now question number 8. Again, it is a statement type question. Statement 1 says, indirect taxes are imposed on goods and services. Indirect taxes are the taxes which are indirectly paid by the consumers but which are levied on the producers. So this statement is true. Option statement 2 says the liability to pay the tax and actual burden of the tax lies on the different person, which is again very true. The tax is levied on the producer, but the burden is shifted to the consumers. So statement 2 is also true. We'll go for option A in this question. Both the statements are true. Now question number 9. Transfer payments include dash from foreign government. Transfer payments are those payments against which no contribution to the production is done. So option A, grants in cash. Grants in cash is only a single-sided transaction against which no production is done. So option A is correct for this question. Question number 10. Identify a commercial bank from the following. So if you can see the list of the banks which is given here, LIC is not a commercial bank, UTI is not a commercial bank, State Bank of India is, yes, it is a commercial bank. So option C is correct. Question number 11. First industrial policy was adopted in the year. Now they are talking about the industrial policy, but first industrial policy. Another industrial policy, what we have read in our chapter, was held in 1956. It was initiated in 1956. But here they are talking about the first industrial policy, which was held in 1947. Option A. Question number 10. Suez Canal. Again, very important question. Suez Canal, which was the shortest route developed between British and Britain and India to cut short the traveling time of Britishers, right? So it was opened in 1869. Option B is the correct answer. Question number 13. The Green Revolution started in India. Which year? Green Revolution in late 60s. So the correct option is 1967 and 68. Question number 14. Again, statement type question. Statement 1 says head count ratio refers to the measurement of poverty in terms of number of persons below poverty line. True? Head count ratio की definition है where we can measure the poverty, the number of people under the poverty line. So statement 1 is true. Statement 2 says poverty line means some cutoff point with respect to the individual consumption expenditure per month, which is again true. In poverty line, we have two options to measure the number of people who are coming below poverty line, and in that the one criteria is consumption expenditure per month. So both these statements are true. Question number 15, as option A, both the statements are true. Question number 15, read the following statements carefully. Again, statement type question. Statement 1 says partial convertibility refers to the sale and purchase of foreign currency for foreign exchange, foreign transactions at market price. No, partial convertibility does not mean this. It does not refer to the sale and purchase of foreign currency. So statement 1 is false. Statement 2 says to achieve the objective of globalization, partial convertibility of Indian rupee has been allotted. No, this is also false. So we'll go for option B. Both the statements are false. Question number 16. The constant decline in average size of holding in India is caused by constant decline in average size, where the size of the land was getting divided into different portions. So what was it? The landowner was dividing its land into, suppose, two of his sons or three of his sons. So uh, where the land was getting divided into different small holdings, this was under the law of inheritance, where the land of a parent is divided into the children. So this was law of inheritance, option A. Now question number 17 is match the following type question, where you have to match all the given columns, right? Match the following again can be in a two different forms. In first type of questions, you have to match all the columns, and in another type of match of the following, you have to only choose the correct option. So you have to read the question very properly. Here we have to match all these four options to each other, right? So let's see. These items can take place on both current and capital accounts. What do we call those items? See, autonomous items and accommodating items. There are two types of items. Autonomous items are those which are only carried for the purpose of profit earning, whereas accommodating items are those which are brought out either for this purpose, for the transaction purpose, or for balancing balance of payment account, right? So A option will go for third part, which is autonomous items. Second, these items can take place only on capital accounts. Now, which are the transactions which only take place in the capital account? That is accommodating items, which are done for the balancing of the balance of payment account, right? Accommodating items. So B will go with fourth. So if we go through the options which are given, we can easily observe that option number C, where they are matching option A with third column, B with fourth column. See, you have to observe your options also at the same time. If you are able to match any two of them, then you may get the direct answer from the given options. So third point is balance of payment current account. Balance of payment current account, if we talk about this can be measured only at a given point of time. So it is a stock concept. And fourth option, balance of payment capital account, which is a flow concept. So if you can observe the options, Option C is giving you all the correct combinations. So we'll go for option C in this. Question number 17, answer C. See? Yes. Option C is the correct one. Now, let's start with question number 18. Question 18 says, the nature of unemployment seen in agriculture is dash unemployment. If we are talking about the nature of unemployment which is seen in the agriculture sector, so where more number of people are employed under the same farm, maybe because of the same family, which are not required, whose marginal productivity becomes zero. So that type of unemployment is called as disguised unemployment, which is very commonly found in the agriculture sector. Question number Option C, disguised unemployment. Question number 19. The government has increased the rate of income tax. Now, government has increased income tax which is a direct tax, right? The objective of government is to, options are, maintain balanced regional development. Option B, redistribute income and wealth, reallocate resources, or to ensure economic stability. So we'll go for option B in this. Redistribution of the income and wealth is done by putting more taxes on the rich people and by levying less taxes on the people who are lying in the low income groups. Next, question number 20. The Tendulkar Committee uses dash as the basis for determining poverty. If we talk about Tendulkar Committee, they always used monthly per capita income for determining the poverty level. So we'll go for option A in this. Question number 21. Dash issues rupees 1 currency notes in India. I hope you all are aware of this fact. That's all the notes, all the currency notes are issued by Reserve Bank of India, whereas coins and 1 rupee notes are issued by Ministry of Finance. So we'll go for option B in this question. Question number 22. The Tata Iron and Steel Company was established in Tisco. In short, we are very commonly call this company as Tisco, which was established in 1907. So option B. Question number 23, statement type question again. Statement 1 says, full employment by no means should be considered a situation of zero unemployment. True? Full employment never means that there will be no unemployment in the economy. There may be temporary unemployment, which is always present in the economy. Statement 2 says, in an economy, there is always some natural rate of unemployment. Yes, which is again true. So we'll go for option A. Both the statements are true. Statement, yes. Now question number 24. About dash percent of the country's population obtained livelihood from agriculture at the time of independence. So the correct option is 72% of the country's population obtained livelihood from agriculture at the time of independence, because you all know that we were hardly having any industrial sector or tertiary sector developed in the country. So most of the population was depending upon the agriculture for their livelihoods. So these were first 24 questions. Out of these 24 questions, you only have to attempt 20 questions. So just go through at the time of reading very carefully. If you are not sure for any of the answer, please leave those 4 questions and circle them in the OMR sheet so that to avoid last minute confusion at the time of filling OMR, right? Chaliye. Let's start with section B. Section B again will be having 24 questions. Out of those 24, you have to attempt only 20. So, question number 25 is assertion and reason based questions. Assertion and reason based questions you will find in section B only, where 2 statements will be given to you. Assertion will be stating one correct statement, which can be correct, which cannot be correct, but it will be stating something. And reason, which is given along with it, that may be related to the assertion, that may not be related to the assertion, that may be explaining it, that may not be explaining it. So you have to understand the options first. Option A will be both the statements are true and reason is the correct explanation of assertion. Whereas in option B, it is telling that both assertion and reason are true, but reason is not the correct explanation of assertion. Option C, assertion A is true, reason is false, and option D, vice versa. Right? So let's see. Assertion says devaluation and depreciation is one and the same thing. Devaluation and depreciation are not the same things. Why? That one is done by the government and one is done because of the market forces of demand and supply. Right? So assertion is false. Reason says devaluation is done by the government, whereas depreciation is done by the market forces. Yes, that's what I was telling you. So reason is correct. So we will go for option D in this, where assertion is false, but reason is true. So option D is correct. Question 26, assertion says qualitative measures regulate the direction of credit, right? Qualitative measures are always concerned with increasing and decreasing of the money supply in the economy. So assertion is given correct that yes, it measures regulate the direction of credit. Reason says it includes moral suasion, rationing of credit, margin requirement, etc. Yes, these are the qualitative measures only which are used to control over the credit facilities or money supply in the economy. So assertion is true, reason is true, and reason is the correct explanation of assertion. Option A. Question number 27. After independence, India opted for, you all must be aware of the type of economy which we have, which is mixed economy. So mixed economy was adopted by India after independence. Option D. Question number 28. The Commission of Agriculture Cost and Prices, CACP, it is very common and it was established in 1965. Option A. Again, question number 29 is assertion and reason type question. Assertion says due to brain drain and the talented, skilled, competent scientists, doctors, engineers, etc. shifted from India to other developed countries of the world. Yes, this is very true. Due to brain drain, because of the, you can say, because of the thought process that they will be getting more salaries and more comforts in the outside, like in the abroad areas, people do migrate from the countries. Reason says it is so because they get better salary and better facilities in other developed countries of the world. This slow down the process of human capital formation in the country. Yes, what is human capital formation? Developing of the skills. So bringing them to the skilled, converting them into the skilled labor, and then they leave the countries because of the better facilities which are available in the foreign countries. This is called as brain drain. So both the statements are true and reason is the correct option, correct explanation of assertion. Now next, question number 30. Match the column. Again, you have to match all the columns in this question. See column number 1. Column number 1 is having poverty in India, which is related to, see how much poverty in India is there. Still we have 21.9%. So option A will go with fourth one. Usual poors. Now these are the simple definitions given. Usual poors कौन होते हैं? Which usual poors are the poors which states above the poverty line. They are usually poor. Always poor, which always remain below the poverty line. Never poor, which never come below the poverty line. So we'll go for option A, where we will match A to 4, B to 1, B to 1, C to 2, and D to 3. D to 3. Yes. So this is option number A. Question number 31. The diagram shows population below poverty line in some large states, and we have to choose the correct alternatives for this. Now let's see the options which are given. Just kindly observe this graph where poverty is shown, right? Now see, option A says poverty is highest and in Bihar and lowest in Gujarat. So you have to see the diagram again, and this is not shown there. Gujarat mein it's not like this, that poverty is highest in Bihar and lowest in Gujarat. Option B says poverty is lowest in Andhra Pradesh but highest in Gujarat. No, poverty is highest in Bihar and lowest in Andhra Pradesh. Yes, this is true. See, highest is 62% and lowest is 34%. Lowest is 11%, which is in Andhra Pradesh. So we'll go for option C. Poverty is highest in Bihar and lowest in Andhra Pradesh. On the basis of question number 32, on the basis of the following production and productivity of wheat rice, a comparison between the levels in 1947 and 2018-19. Choose the correct alternative. Crops are given wheat and rice. Productivity is given in 1947, 2018-19. Production is again given in 1947 and 2018-19, right? So let's observe the options what are given here. Option A says production of rice and wheat was more in 2018 and 19. Yes, this is very true. So option A is the correct one, where they are mentioning already. If first statement is true, then we'll not see another options which are given there. Question number 33, assertion and reason type question. Assertion says farming was taken mostly as a means of subsistence. Subsistence farming, you must be aware of the definition, where they are doing the farming only for the consumption purpose. Reason says farming was mainly done for families' consumption, lack of commercial outlook. Yes, they never had commercial outlooks. They never wished to sell out their produce. So option A, assertion is true, assertion is right, reason is right, and reason is the correct explanation of assertion. Question number 34. Now it is statement type question. Statement 1 says India ranks in the world in milk production. India ranks in the world in milk production. Yes, this is true. Statement 2 says India's milk production increased due to Operation Flood. Now, what is Operation Flood? It is milk revolution, white revolution, where the milk was taken to one plant and they pooled all the milk together and they started packing it, pasteurizing it, packing it, and then started selling it to the farther areas. So yes, it was increased due to the Operation Flood. So both the statements are true. Question number 35. Option A is correct. Yes. Question number 35. Statement 1 says commercial banks create credit in the economy. Yes, commercial banks are responsible for creating credit in the economy. Statement 2 says commercial banks create credit on the basis of demand deposits. This is also true. Yes, what they do is they get all the deposits of the people, out of which they keep some amount into their reserves, and rest of the deposited amount is circulated in the economy in the form of credit. So both the statements are true. We will go for option A. Question 36. Industrial revolution first started in. Direct answer, England. It was started in England. Option C. Question 37. Assertion and reason type question. Assertion says borrowing from abroad is treated as credit term in balance of payment account. Yes, true. Borrowing from the abroad. What is it? It is a Yes, borrowing is creating a liability for our economy, है ना? And reason says because it leads to the inflow of foreign exchange. Because borrowing is coming, the cash, the foreign exchange is coming into the economy. So it is inflow of the foreign exchange. So both the statements are true and reason is the correct option, correct explanation of assertion. So we will go for option A. Question number 38. The rate at which the central bank lends money to commercial bank, that is called as bank rate. Bank rate is the rate at which central bank is lending money to commercial banks. Question number 39, assertion and reason type question. Assertion says money supply includes public and does not include banks. What is money supply? The currency in circulation and also the demand deposits with banks. So money supply includes public and does not include banks. Assertion is true. Reason says money supply includes user of money and not producers of money. Yes, this is again true. Producers, they are not talking about the producers of money. So we'll go for option B. Assertion is true, reason is true, but reason is not the correct explanation. It is not explaining assertion's statement at all. Question number 40. Assertion says rural banking has always given lesser attention on the credit requirement of small and marginal farmers. Yes, very true. Whatever facilities were provided under rural development through the rural banks or through their credit system, they hardly have given any attention to the small and marginal farmers. Reason says marginal farmers enjoy better credit worthiness. No, this is false. So assertion is true and reason is false. We will go for option C in this. Question number 41. Assertion and reason type again. Assertion says credit multiplier is inversely related to legal reserve ratio. True. क्रेडिट मल्टीप्लायर जो है दैट इज इनवर्सली रिलेटेड. इट इज 1/LRR है ना मल्टीप्लायर. सो इट इज इनवर्सली रिलेटेड टू legal reserve ratio. Reason says greater the LRR, lower the credit multiplier. Yes, this is also true. So both the statements are true and reason is the correct explanation of assertion. Option A is the correct answer. Question number 42. Just observe this pattern. Poverty line is given to you. In figure A, no one is coming above the poverty line. In figure B, only once they crossed the poverty line, rest of the time they are under it. And in third option, all of them are just above the poverty line. They are not coming down. So let's see the options. A, usual poor. B, always poor. C, never poor. No. False. Why? Because B is not always poor. They are coming once above the line. Option B says always poor, churning poor, never poor. No, this is also wrong. Option C, always poor, usual poor, and never poor. This is the correct option. Once, ma'am, just please show the diagram again. If you can observe, figure A is showing us always poor because they are never crossing the poverty line. Figure B is usually poor because once they were able to cross this, and in third option, they are never poor. So option C is the correct one. Question number 43. Mr. Shivam wants to know about which of the following organization regulates the standard for higher education. If we talk about higher education, we talk about the universities. So option B is the correct option. UGC is responsible for the higher education in India. Question number 44. If balance of trade is minus 700, value of exports is 500 crores, then the value of imports will be. So what we have to do is exports minus imports. So option A is the correct one, 1200 crores. This is a very simple numerical where only you have to put the formula. Simple difference you have to find out. Right? Question number 45. Statement type question. Statement 1 says rural poor includes landless agricultural workers, tenants, marginal holders, etc. Yes, right. Rural poor में कौन आ जाते हैं हमारे? The ones who are landless, or who are having only small land holdings, or who are tenants. Tenants are those who are working as a hired labor on others' land, right? So this is true. Statement 2 says urban poor includes migrants from rural areas in search of employment, casual factory workers, etc. Yes, this is again true. So both the statements are true. We will go for option A in this. Question number 46. Assertion says balance of trade is also known as visible trade, right? Balance of trade includes only the visible items, which is true. Reason says because it records export and imports of goods only and it does not record services. Yes, balance of trade. This is the basic difference between balance of trade and balance of payment account, where we can say that balance of trade only includes goods which are visible to us. It does not include services. So both the statements are true and reason is the correct explanation for assertion. Option A. Now question number 47. Question number 47 is match the followings. Again, you have to match all these. Now, if we talk about exports are greater than imports, so this is a condition of surplus trade. So A will go with 2. Then export is equals to import. That is balanced trade of budget. So B will go with first. Then exports are less than imports. Where exports are less than imports is deficit, straight. And exports and imports are the part of foreign trade. So C will go with 3, D will go with 4. So from the options, we can see that option B is the correct answer. Question number 48. Which of the following organizations functions as an apex organization to provide quality school education? Now, under this, if we talk about apex institution, then it is NCERT, which is working upon the school education. So option C, National Council of Education, Research and Training is the correct answer because they are responsible for the school education. Question number 49. Now this is section C. We are starting. See, already 40 questions you have attempted. Now this is section C where 10 more questions you have to do. So out of all these given questions, we have to choose only 10 correct options. Okay. Question number 49. It says, see, this is a case-based type question where you have to study the data given and then you have to look to the optional questions. So question number 49, it says revenue expenditure plus capital expenditure. Now see, observe the table which is given on the screen. Revenue expenditure plus capital expenditure. The figures are given to you and they both combinedly form budgetary expenditure. Question number 49. Yes. So revenue expenditure plus capital expenditure, we will go with option number A, that is budgetary expenditure. It combinedly formed budgetary expenditure. Question number 50 says revenue deficit is. Ma'am, can you show this table again? Yes. See here, revenue expenditure minus revenue receipts you have to do because we need to calculate revenue deficit. So 200 minus 100. So answer will be 100. Question number 50. Option B is the correct answer. Now question number 51 says fiscal deficit. As you all know, fiscal deficit is always equal to the borrowings. So if the borrowings are directly given into the table, then we will take that direct figure from the table. So see, borrowings are directly given 75. So we will go for option number B in question number 51. Option B, 75. Now after this, question number 52. 52 क्वेश्चन में हमको क्या फाइंड आउट करना है? प्राइमरी डेफिसिट. व्हाट इज प्राइमरी डेफिसिट? द फॉर्मूला इज फिस्कल डेफिसिट माइनस इंटरेस्ट पेमेंट्स. सो in this fiscal Deficit we have already calculated, which was 75 equal to the borrowings, and interest payments are given 15 in the question. So 75 minus 15, 60 is the correct answer. So option A is the correct answer. Next question is budgetary deficit is. Budgetary deficit, options are given. We will go for option A, 0, where we have to deduct all the revenue receipts from the revenue expenditures. Now next question, fiscal deficit is equals to. Now see, indirectly they have given the same question. There we have taken the value of borrowings for showing the fiscal deficit. Here they have given the options. So fiscal deficit is directly equal to the borrowings, option B. Next question, new economic policy. Yes. See, this is a case-based type question. New education policy in India was launched in the year 1991 under the leadership of P.V. Narasimha Rao. This policy opened the door of Indian economy for the global exposure. For the first time in this new economic policy, P.V. Narasimha Rao government reduced the import duties, opened reserve sectors for the private players, and devalued the Indian currency to increase the exports. This is also known as LPG model of the growth. New economic policy refers to economic liberalization or relaxation in the import tariffs, deregulation of markets, of opening the market for private and foreign players, and reduction of taxes to expand the economic wings of the country. Former Prime Minister Manmohan Singh is considered to be the father of new economic policy of India. Manmohan Singh introduced the NEP on July 24, 1991. So just underline this important point. The date you should always keep it in the mind. Now let's see question number 49. No, sorry, 55. Question 55. New economic policy of India was launched in the year 1991 under the leadership of P.V. Narasimha Rao. It is directly given into the paragraph. Question number 50. Question number 56. Yes. Dash is also known as the LPG model of growth. New economic policy is also known as the LPG model. So option A is the correct one. Question number 51. State whether the given statement is true or false. Former Prime Minister Manmohan Singh is considered to be the father of new economic policy. Yes, true. It was also directly given into the paragraph. Question number 58. True. Yes. Question number 58. Assertion says new economic policy is to expand the economic wings of the country. What is new economic policy? It was supposed to expand the industrial sector, the production of the commodities into our country by introducing the policy of liberalization, privatization, and globalization. So this is true. Reason says due to economic liberalization or relaxation in the import tariffs, deregulation of markets, opening the markets for private and foreign players, or the reduction of taxes. Yes, this is also true, and this is correctly explaining the assertion. So we will go for option A. Question number 59. New economic policy was initiated in. Kindly keep this date into your mind. It was launched on 24th July 1991. So option B is the correct answer. Last question of the paper. Dash was the finance minister of India in the year 1991. And the correct option is Dr. Manmohan Singh. Right? So this was the paper. I hope all of you understood it very well, that how are you going to attempt your paper. All the very best to you for your preparations, and kindly subscribe the channel. You will be getting more and more material for your preparations of term 1 as well as term 2. Thank you so much.